House fire. Bad one. At least 4 Vicks. Get out there and find out what you can. The address is 650 North Hobart.
I got a call back for that Universal Chorus line.
What do you think?
We ought to get moving. Check out this house fire.
Here's what I heard. The cop caught the guy who did the downing.
Get going, Phelps.
That bum took a swipe at me. I put him down with my sack.
Get going, Phelps.
So what next?
We ought to get moving. Check out this house fire.
Need a drink. I got the jitters again.
Shake a leg, Herschel.
Yeah, as soon as I'm finished.
Herschel, come on. You're falling behind, Herschel. You know the way. You can drive. Herschel, come on.
Phelps, I'm coming.
Herschel, let's roll.
You hear about Rancho Escondido?
Are we having a conversation, Biggs?
Okay, fuck it. Forget
I'm teasing you, Herschel. Tell me about it.
One of the new housing developments, a couple of weeks from completion. Burnt to the ground last night. GIs are ready to move in this weekend. Developer's gonna have some very angry customers.
Any ideas?
You better talk to Carruthers. Lynch, too.
Herschel, come on. You guys better see this. I hope you have strong stomachs.
Not right now.
Do you have a name? Morelli, Mike. We recovered a picture of the family. Okay. Anything else? To be honest, I just got here, Phelps. Best you talk to Lynch. He's the expert. Doesn't make any sense. Why aren't they scattered around like the rest of the debris?
I think they've been moved.
Ooh.
I think someone moved them after the explosion and before the fire.
Can you explain that, please?
I'm almost positive the cause of death is asphyxiation due to gas inhalation. Look at the parts of their bodies that aren't scorched. The coloring around the fingertips is typical.
They wouldn't have felt a thing.
I think the fire damage is post-mortem. I think someone moved them into this room after the explosion.
It still doesn't make any sense. Why would you run into a burning building?
I'm at a loss.
We don't decide what happened here, Phelps. We go on the evidence. Search the whole house.
No more questions, huh?
What now?
We don't decide what happened here, Phelps. We go on the evidence. Search the whole house.
There isn't much I can tell you right now, Cole. What are they doing?
The prayer effect is from the fire. Muscles and tendons contract.
Another day, another dollar. You ever think about how many people have died in this world? And how big heaven would have to be to accommodate them bigs?
No, I have not. Show some respect.
It's our boy. I think he watches the fires. I think the Sawyer fire went wrong.
So what about the guy we have in jail, Phelps?
We got the wrong guy.
That doesn't explain why he ran into a burning building. What would make anyone do that?
Guilt. For the fires? For his mistake. This guy wants to burn houses, not families. He expects the houses to be empty. He was trying to redeem himself. He probably thought they'd be happier together.
You are one very disturbed individual, Phelps. I know you had it rough lately, but you should start to compartmentalize your thoughts.
You could be right. Can you come up with an alternative explanation?
Sure, it's the same guy.
Are you telling me that some son of a bitch murdered these people, the whole family, and arranged them here like Cupid dolls?
Might fit, Cole, but I don't think we could ever prove it. There's very little evidence.
Evidence?
Albert, check out the hot water system. Make sure we're dealing with the same MO.
Sure, Phelps. I'll get back to you.
Leave the rest to us, Cole. You better find out what's eating Diggs. There isn't much I can tell you right now, Cole. Nope. This is the flashpoint. The heater detonated with enough force to expose the foundations. There isn't much I can tell you right now, Cole. Find anything interesting? So something finally got to you.
You want my help, pretty boy? You got it. You keep riding me and you won't be pretty much longer.
We can get this guy, Herschel.
You think you've seen everything, Phelps? I was with the 2nd Marines at Bella Wood. The things that went on in that farmhouse. My own guys on fire, screaming for a way out. You're not gonna get this guy. There's gonna be no photos and no citations. We're gonna kill this miserable fuck. End of story. You getting this?
You remember the list from the travel agent?
Sure.
The Morellis were winners too. Their name was on that list.
Christ. We should take a look around, work the neighbors, see what they know. I'll go across the street.
Okay, I'll try this side.
I haven't done this for years.
You don't look like a fireman, son.
Looks like the same model.
We hosed it down, Detective. The rest is up to you and the tech guys.
How did you get my number, Ira?
At first, I didn't understand you, but now I do.
I'd like you to come back to the clinic.
I'm helping other people now, Doctor.
I think you are confused. You haven't been to the clinic for weeks.
I'm not confused anymore, Doctor. I'm helping people be together.
This world is only temporary. We'll all be happier in heaven. Why don't you tell me where you are and I can come to you? I think the fires should end now. They have served their purpose.
Oh, the fires are only beginning, Doctor. After the fires, everything will be beautiful and clean.
Everything will be erased. The world will be fresh and new.
I can see my purpose now, Doctor. And you helped me to find it.
Someone was keeping watch. Looks like they were here for quite a while. Brand looks distinctive. Whoever he was wearing boondockers. I would know that imprint anywhere. LAPD, can you tell me anything about the fire next door?
Terrible luck. Imagine after having won that weekend away.
What's your name, sir?
Foreman. Dudley Foreman. Mind if we move things along a little, Detective?
Did you see or hear anything that might have...
Look, we were asleep when we heard the explosion.
You weren't asleep. You were standing over there by the fence watching the place burn down. I hope you didn't know they were inside.
As much as I didn't like that wop bastard, I hope you have evidence that proves I was looking at the fire.
You don't ask, you never find out. And then what happened?
It was like Pearl Harbor with bits of the house raining down. Blew out all of our windows to face the place.
Did you see anyone hanging around the Morelli's home prior to the explosion?
Nope. Can't say as I was looking out, though.
I think you're covering for someone, Foreman. Who is it?
And I think you are off your rocker. How can you make an accusation like that?
What proof have you got?
Looks like I was mistaken. Did they have anyone working on the house recently? A maintenance man, a city inspector, maybe?
I doubt it. Why would they bother with these old places, what with redevelopment coming up?
I'll have a patrolman come by and take your statement. Hopefully you'll be a little bit more cooperative with him.
Come on, kid. I'm doing my best here. You were talking about the competition, right? Catalina Island? I've got one of the flyers in the kitchen if you're interested.
Any luck, Cole?
A couple of things. What did you pick up?
Folded piece of paper. Looks complicated.
Japanese call it origami. Can I take a look?
Sure.
Paper crane. There's a legend about them. You fold 1,000 of these and you get a wish.
Hey, don't break it.
I'm not. I'm unfolding it. It looks like a waybill or a flyer.
For what?
For Elysian Fields developments.
Oh, I see you already have one.
When did the flyer arrive in your mailbox?
They've been arriving for weeks. This one was in the mailbox when I got home from work yesterday afternoon. All a man can do is put in a prayer for the dead. That's about all I've got to say about it.
You find a game well and get an address for Elysian. Problem is, partner, those Elysian guys are connected.
Advice?
You find a game well and get an address for Elysian. Problem is, partner, those Elysian guys are connected.
All a man can do is put in a prayer for the dead. That's about all I've got to say about it.
Excuse me, officer.
I need an address for a property developer. Elysian Fields Developments.
One moment, detective. The address is 748 North Oxford Avenue, Wilshire. Anything else?
Messages, please.
If you have a message, contact Captain McKelty immediately.
Thanks. Can you put me through, operator?
Of course. Here you are.
Commander?
Leads in the Morelli fire.
We're about to go and visit Elysian Fields Developments.
You're about to do what? Leland Monroe? He's a personal friend of the mayor and the chief. Are you out of your mind? I'm warning you, Phelps.
Commander, we have a line of inquiry.
You have something, you bring it to me. You're hanging by a thread, Phelps. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Good. Have a report on my desk today.
This is no battle of wits between you and me.
Kelty has warned us off over Elysian.
Makes sense. It's a dead end. We should check out Rancho Escondido.
You know the place?
Sure. Corner of Fountain and Wilton. Let's go.
What do you think?
Rancho Escondido, that development that burned down. We gotta check it out.
Can you drive to this one?
And where exactly are we going? A shame about Chapman. The Arson Desk has been trying to nail that son of a bitch for years.
He's still in custody, Herschel.
Wanna bet? Fella kicked him loose already. Can't hold him for misdemeanor cigarettes and matches. You know, there are times when you really miss a nightstick. There's more religion in the end of a nightstick than in 100 cathedrals.
I'm not gonna tell you again, sir.
Don't tell me when and how I can come and go on my own property.
It is not
This is
safe,
America,
sir.
dickhead.
Now step back, or I'll lock you up for a
Smart
play.
mouth son of a bitch.
You sorry sack.
You're being damn foolish, soldier.
We're gonna have to pacify these people.
I'm gonna bust you right Good thing you showed up when you did, detectives. Those folks were baying for blood.
Okay, then. Let's see if there's
These
anything
poor
to look
bastards.
at.
They got every reason to be angry. You guys should take a look around.
Phelps! I think I found something over here.
What now?
Look around. There's not much left, but it's worth a shot.
Mortar is like dust. Is that normal in a fire?
I'd expect some shrinkage in the heat, but it looks like the cement barely adhered to the brick. Doesn't appear to be any wall ties either. This thing looks like it was built on the cheap. If we're paying a visit to Elysian and ruining my career, let's bite the bullet and get on with it.
Herschel, let's roll.
You do your job, I'll do mine.
Shake a leg, Herschel. You're behind the wheel.
All right. Where to?
Broadcasting.
So what next?
Careful with Monroe, Phelps. He's got a lot of clout and he's pretty sharp. See what you can get from him.
You're falling behind, Herschel.
On my way.
Detectives Phelps and Biggs, LAPD, to see Leland Monroe.
Do you have an appointment?
We're the police, lady. We don't need an appointment.
Can I tell him what it's about?
It's an official investigation.
There are 2 police officers here to see Mr. Monroe.
Send them through.
And that's our cue. Thanks, ma'am.
All I can tell you about Mr. Monroe is that he's a good employer and a fine American.
Herschel, come on.
When I'm done.
That's the swine. Look at him. As the cannibals finished off eating the clown, one said, "Did that taste funny to you?"
May I help you, gentlemen?
Careful with Monroe, Phelps. He's got a lot of clout and he's pretty sharp. See what you can get from him. I wonder how many more layers we got to go through to get to this guy.
We would like to speak to Mr. Monroe.
I'm afraid it's impossible. Mr. Monroe's schedule is booked weeks in advance.
Cut to the chase, sister. Is he in?
I'm not at liberty to reveal that, officer.
So he hired you for your intelligence?
I find that offensive.
You have every right to.
This is getting us nowhere, miss.
Casino.
Would you like us to return with a warrant?
That won't be necessary, gentlemen. Come into my office.
Advice?
Careful with Monroe, Phelps. He's got a lot of clout and he's pretty sharp. See what you can get from him.
Are you deaf? Go away.
Shake a leg, Herschel.
All right, all right.
You like a cigar? Drink, boys.
Sure, I'll have a scotch.
Biggs. We're investigating a series of domestic fires, Mr. Monroe.
It's terrible, boys. How can I help? I hope that's all.
Elysian Fields and Suburban Redevelopment Fund flyers keep turning up in the vicinity of the fires.
They're turning up all over town, boys. Can you imagine the current demand for housing?
So that's your explanation, Mr. Monroe? Coincidence?
Explanation? Why, what's to explain? I advertise on radio and billboards for buyers, and I advertise for sellers using waybills.
We hear that Suburban is under severe time pressure to complete work on the new houses. I think you're getting heavy-handed about it, and it's gone wrong.
I hope you have some proof of how I'm involved in this. I'll be happy to sue you for whatever you're worth.
Sorry. Sometimes you have to shake the tree to see what falls out. What's your connection to the Suburban Redevelopment Fund?
It's an organization of civic-minded individuals whose goal is to make the city a better place for its inhabitants. Something I was proud to be asked to join.
What do you know about a competition for families to win free vacations to Catalina Island?
My company runs many promotions. I'm not familiar with that one.
Level with me, Mr. Monroe. You know all about the vacation offers.
You can believe whatever you like, son. You're missing the vital ingredient called proof.
Looks like I made a mistake. 2 families are dead, Mr. Monroe. This isn't a question of criminal liability. We're looking at conspiracy to commit murder.
You know who you're talking to, son. You want to use incendiary language like that with me? I suggest you should leave immediately.
You've made offers to buy houses in areas where fires have been recorded.
Are you suggesting that I'm burning people out of their homes so that I can sell them new ones?
What happens to your plans if a family like the Morellis refuses to sell?
We work around them. Business finds a way. That's the American way.
I think you're being less than candid, Mr. Monroe. You're building these homes to some timetable. You're under pressure to get rid of the holdouts.
And how exactly do you think you can prove that in a court of law, detective?
You're off the hook, for now. So it's for the greater good, then. One man standing in defiance of what you think is best for the city. I thought an American's home was their castle.
I'm not sure I like your tone, son. Rancho Escondido burned to the ground last night. That's one of my prestige developments. I'm a victim of these fires too, Detective.
Travel agent has a list of the winners. 3 of the names on that list have had their houses burnt to the ground.
And how many names on the list have not had a fire?
I don't know.
You wouldn't make much of a lawyer, Detective. If you're gonna rely on statistics, then you better get them straight. Every developer is under time pressure, son. On one hand, you got the investors who want a return. On the other, the purchasers who want what they paid for. That's business. Now, are we finished?
What's Elysian Fields' involvement in Rancho Escondido?
One of our latest housing developments. It was due to open on the weekend, or was before the unfortunate conflagration.
It met with building code regulations.
Absolutely. Only the best for our returning heroes.
You're lying, Monroe. There's something out of kilter about that development.
Son, I've had enough of you and your fidgety friend. There's no way in hell you can prove that my materials were inferior.
Sorry. My mistake. Mr. Monroe, I can have every building inspector from the city and the county going over those buildings.
Son, you have me shaking in my boots.
We need something to go on. Otherwise, more people will get hurt, and you'll keep losing houses.
Well, I want to help in any way I can, officers. The contractors I use for waybills, do you suppose it might be one of them? I have a list of their names if it'd be of any help. My secretary will provide you with the list. On your way out.
Keep your shirt on. Here I come.
Help me out.
Check the list. We need to know who's posting the flyers.
I'm at a loss.
Check the list. We need to know who's posting the flyers.
Herschel, come on.
All right, all right.
Glad to be of help, officers.
What's the story? Any of these names ring a bell?
Herbert Chapman is on this list.
Find the phone. We need to know where we're at with Chapman.
I am not prepared to let you waste any more of our time. Please leave.
Your boss is a fine man.
Of course a girl can ask a fella out.
Operator, message for KGPL.
Putting you through now.
Phelps, 1247.
How could I help, Detective?
Can you check whether we are still holding a Herbert Chapman?
Let me find out for you. He was released this morning, Detective. I'm sorry, Detective.
Not your fault. Can you give me a last known address and put out an APB on the guy?
I'll get back to you, Detective. APB will go out over KGPL shortly.
Thanks, ma'am.
I love the chase till the minute I win it. A beautiful face till there's love for me in it. Give me your heart and baby I'll bin it. 'Cause I always kill the things I love. Some
Buy me a drink, Cole?
for the
No.
sake of
Not even for old time's sake? Not even for that. You're not going to ask me why I'm here? I wouldn't give you the pleasure. We'll get around to it.
Is something quite other.
She's in fine voice this evening. I wonder how the commander would feel Save about... the threats for someone who cares about them, Roy. You're breaking my heart, Cole. You know how I feel about you.
Will turn to surprise as you feel the pain.
Stay away from Elysian Fields. I should have known that you were playing errand boy. You and your doofus partner. You have been warned. Thanks for your cooperation, officer.
I love you.
Stay away. You have no idea the type of people that are involved in that company. I have a pretty good idea, Roy. The same kind of people that sent you here. Your investigation is finished. Homicide will be taking over from here. I've heard we've had a spate of grass fires in the hills that you and that hunchback might be able to handle. Thanks for the drink, Cole.
You get the message about Monroe?
Yeah. Earl delivered it. You?
McKelty started making noises about my pension.
Sorry about that, Herschel. I didn't mean to drag you into this.
Save it, Phelps. Monroe's an asswipe. And so was Earl. And so was McKelty when it's all said and done.
KGPL calling the car 11K,
11K, go ahead.
11K, the last known address of suspect Herbert Chapman is 650 North Kingsley Drive in Wilshire.
Roger that, KGPL. 11K en route.
Let's go pick him up.
You fought at Sugarloaf, didn't you?
I did. But I don't like to talk about it.
You come across a guy called Jack Kelso out that way?
You know Jack Kelso?
He's an insurance investigator over at California Fire and Life. Our paths cross from time to time. For some reason, seeing you makes me think of him.
Has, Jack spoken to you about his experiences on Sugarloaf? Or the rest of the campaign?
Jack keeps stum just like you do. I know what it feels like to get back from conflict. You gotta respect that.
Confiscated pinball machines finally take the rap. They dished it out plenty, but they can't take it. One-armed bandits take up...
We're looking for Herbert Chapman.
I'm looking for him, too. I need him to move his car so I can mow the lawn.
He's definitely not here.
I've been banging on his door off and on for a couple of hours. Yeah, he's out somewhere. There's some kind of problem.
Let's take a look at the car.
If Herb's in trouble, there ain't nothing I can tell you about it.
So what next?
Let's take a look at the car.
Find Herb, you tell him to shift that goddamn jalopy.
Let's see what he's hauling around. Motive, opportunity, and hard evidence. We should revise the APB. He's clearly armed. Definitely gives him opportunity.
Hold it, Cole. There he is. It's Chapman. He's coming out of the laundromat. Shit! He's seen us.
Cops! Again!
Son of a bitch, he must have caught the trolley. We gotta move fast, Cole. I'll call this in, get some cars dispatched. Car 11K calling KGPL.
Go ahead,
11K requesting assistance. In pursuit of suspect aboard the 1110 University streetcar, currently heading east on Melrose Avenue. Advise all units. Suspect is in control of car and driving dangerously.
Roger, 11K. All units, officers need assistance on Melrose Avenue. A suspect aboard the 1110 University streetcar headed eastbound. Approach with caution. Suspect is in control of the streetcar and driving dangerously. Units to handle code 3 identified.
Stay on his ass, Cole. Don't lose him. See if he can damage one of the wheels. Might act like a brake and slow the thing down. I can't hit a target that isn't there, Phelps. Hold him tight, Cole. As soon as he ditches the tram, we'll be there to grab him. Look, Cole. End of the line, you little prick. Come on, Cole. Looks like we have our man, Cole. Well done.
I'm not so sure. Chapman seemed to have his own agenda. There seems to be more to this than a personal vendetta.
What are you talking about?
The fires benefit Elysian in some way. I don't see Chapman and Monroe working together.
You have a point. Well, the evidence is good for Chapman. It's hard to be worrying about his side of the story when he's blasting away with that big 45.
What the hell kind of desk do you think I'm running here, Phelps? You think you can waltz around this city starting riots, harassing pillars of the community, and wantonly destroying the property of the LA Transit Authority? I don't care if you're not happy slumming it in this squad. You either get yourself squared away or hand in your goddamn badge. You're on street duty until further notice. Get out of my sight!
What is it?
A letter from Lou. His insurance policy named me beneficiary.
California Fire and Life. You worked for Elysian?
The roof that he was working on collapsed.
It's a very generous settlement. Elsa, I'd like you to do something for me. I think there's something dirty about Elysian Fields.
What has that got to do with Lou?
I want you to reject this settlement. I want you to go and see an investigator named Jack Kelso and ask him to make some inquiries about Lou's case.
Isn't this police work?
Do you want to find out what happened to Lou?
Why would he help this Kelso?
Jack won't be able to help himself if he smells a rat.
He's a friend of yours?
He hates my guts. Elsa, you could take this money and let them get away with it, or we could get Jack's help and do something about it.
Why not be honest with this man, Cole? He deserves your honesty if you want his help.
Believe me, Elsa, I'd like to level with him. I really would, but it's too late. Years too late.